and welcome to our School at Home class in English Grade 7. We are in the second quarter of our set of lessons, and I hope everybody will delight in learning today with lesson number 11. Juncture and rate of speech. Common obstacles why listeners struggle to understand someone is if that person speaks too fast or he doesn't know how to pause or slow down when talking. That's why it is important to learn juncture and rate of speech, as they are essential for clear communication. Before we proceed with the lesson, you may take the pre-test in just a few minutes. You may write your answers in your module for lesson 11. Direction. This symbol, the single word juncture, signals the pause in the sentence. Place a check mark if the indicated pauses in the sentence are correct. Place a cross mark if the indicated pauses in the sentence are incorrect. You may follow after me. Number 1. The students walked into the room. Number 2. The man sitting at the desk is my teacher. Number 3. At 8 a.m., the teacher walked into the room. Number 4. I took science, history, and math quizzes today. And number 5. On Tuesday, I have quizzes in English and math. Here are the answers to the pretest. Were you able to get the correct answers? That's great! As you can see, only number 1 and 5 are incorrect. In number 1, the pause should be between the words walked and into. It can be read as, the students walked into the room. That sounds better, right? In number 5, you can separate the sentence into 2 or 3 thought groups. So you can read it as, on Tuesday, I have quizzes in English and math. Or you can read it as, on Tuesday, I have quizzes in English and math. Later, we'll explain to you how or where are we going to place the pauses in each sentence. Let's have another quick recap of your previous lesson during the first quarter. When you say words with emphasis, it is called stress. When you say words with high or low tone, we are referring to pitch. When you say sentences in rise or fall pattern, it is called intonation. When you say words with proper pause to have a smooth flow of speech, it is called juncture. When you say words that are too soft or too loud, it is about volume and projection. And lastly, when you talk too fast or too slow, it is all about speech rate. In your previous lesson about prosodic features, it was explained that juncture is a pause or slight delay in the continuous flow of speech. These are sound transitions that characterize the movement from sound to sound within a word or a phrase. Take this for example, the words nitrate and night rate. They almost have the same sound, right? But how are they different? You may seem to notice the pause in each word. The pause in each word are actually in different places. Let us repeat the words to find out. Repeat after me. Nitrate, night rate. The stoppage in the word nitrate is between the vowel sound I and consonant T, while the stoppage in the word night rate is between the words night and rate. Because of this, it gives them difference in meaning. The word nitrate is a natural chemical used as fertilizers, while night rate means payment made for those who are working during the night. Listen carefully as we use the words nitrate and night rate in this dialogue between a dad and his daughter. Hi Dad, You seem very tired. Here's a cup of coffee. It might help you to keep you awake in your job. Thank you, my daughter. That will help. I still have to deliver tons of nitrate tonight. You're working too hard, Dad. Is working at night okay for you? It's okay because our company will give a better night rate payment and that will help our family a lot. That's good to hear, Dad. Good luck at your work and always take care when you drive, okay? Thank you, my dear. Don't worry, I will take care of myself. Now do you understand the difference of these two words? That's splendid. There are two types of juncture. The first one is called closed juncture. Closed juncture is a movement from sound to sound which has no intervening pause or delay. Examples of this are train, night, and blue. In closed juncture, the pause may exist between syllables in the word. Examples are sustain, nitrate, and juncture. The next type of juncture is called open juncture. Open juncture is a movement which is not continuous. The slight stoppage exists between words or phrases. Examples are it swings, its wings, ice cream, ice cream. If you notice, when we change the stoppage between words or phrases, the meaning also changes. Let's go back to the previous examples. Nitrate is an example of a closed juncture because the slight stoppage is between the syllables, while night rate is an example of an open juncture because the slight stoppage is between the words. Now that you have learned the pauses and syllables are in words, this time we will discuss the pauses in the sentence. Please read the following sentences. Take note of the pause with the help of the symbol. The principal said, "The teacher is diligent." Who do you think is being described as diligent in the first sentence? You are correct. The answer is the teacher. The principal said, "The teacher is diligent." Now let's try the second sentence. The principal said the teacher is diligent. Who do you think is being described as diligent in the second sentence? You are right. This time it is the principal. The principal said the teacher is diligent. As you can see, changing the place of juncture or the pause in the sentence also changes its meaning. Did you notice the symbols too? These are called the symbols of juncture. The first one is called the single word juncture, which means you have to do a slight pause between two thought groups in a sentence. In single bar juncture, you have to pause very slightly, like a fraction of a second. On the other hand, the double bar juncture means it needs a longer pause between two thought groups in a sentence. The pause could last around 2 seconds. This is usually done after saying a sentence or if you want to introduce an important idea. Also, the length of your pause will vary considerably based on your speaking style, the nature of your message, the duration of your talk, and your audience. Try reading these examples. Read the following sentences. Make sure to do a slight pause after each symbol. Number 1. The doctor said the patient should rest. Who do you think is being asked to rest in this sentence? You are correct. The answer is the patient. Number 2. The doctor said the patient should rest. Who do you think is being asked to rest in this sentence? That's correct. The answer this time is the doctor. Well done. Read the following sentences and make sure to do a longer pause after each symbol. Listen carefully. Number 1. Dr. Jose Rizal, our national hero, was born on June 19, 1861. Number 2. Mr. Ronald Pascual, the singing professor, teaches English. Imagine that you are talking continuously without pauses. It will be hard for the listener to keep up with your conversation. It is our job for the listener to understand us, so it is better to slow down a bit. This is where the rate of speech comes in. Rate of speech means how fast or how slow a person speaks. Tongue twisters usually use fast speech rate. Recite this as fast as you can. You may follow after me. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely seashells, so if she sells shells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Now it's your turn. Wow, it's incredibly tough, but it's fun, right? However, in normal conversation, you don't have to speak fast. You have to be sensitive with the ones you're speaking with and focus on enunciating the words correctly so that the listener can understand you better. It's time to express yourselves. Determine which among the situations will make you speak fast or slow. Do a thumbs up if it's a normal or slow speech rate, and do a thumbs down if it's a fast speech rate. Number 1. You are telling instructions. Number 2. You are angry with someone. Number 3. You are giving advice to a friend. Number 4. You are excited to tell what happened to your friends. And Number 5. You are requesting school supplies from your parents. Were you able to get the correct answers? That's great! Here are some tips for you when to pause in your speech. The first one is the comma pause. Use short pauses in your speech whenever a comma would be used in written language to separate two clauses. Example: I wanted to make my mother happy, so I made her breakfast. The next one is the sentence pause. A sentence pause should generally be longer than a comma pause. Use longer pauses wherever a full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark would be used in written language to separate two sentences. Example: Can I practice speaking in English with you? I am studying English for my interview. And lastly, the paragraph pause. When reading, people usually add a mental pause at the end of each paragraph. Use long pauses in your speech whenever you are changing from one key idea to the next. Example: The benefit of studying English is... You can divide the sentence into thought groups so that you would know where to pause in your speech. A thought group is a group of approximately 2 to 5 words that form a unit of meaning. It is also called a phrase. For example, we visited our students who are sick. One of the students who are absent are sick. One who gets irritated easily is unhappy. Let's practice. Let's try to practice juncture and rate of speech with this example of a paragraph. Listen carefully. Today, I'm going to talk about a person who was a shy kid during his school days. A person who was very determined and was even ready to give up his life, saying, "I would rather die instead of eating animals as food." A man who united a whole country, a true believer of non-violence. Friends, yes, I'm going to talk about the father of India, Mahatma Gandhi. Juncture and rate of speech can also be practiced when reading poetries. Let's try to read this example and take note of the pauses after each line. Listen carefully. God Moves in a Mysterious Way by William Cowper. God moves in a mysterious way, His wonders to perform. He plants His footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. Deep in unfathomable minds of never-failing skill, He treasures up His bright designs and works His sovereign will. Do you have strong faith in God? Here is an acrostic of the word faith, meaning feeling of faith. I trust in Him. In your own opinion, why do we need to have strong faith in God? According to Psalm chapter 9, verse 10, we trust in God because He does not forsake us. Even when we feel as though we are all alone, we know God is with us. He will not leave us in the middle of the hardest times. Instead, He carries us through those. To wrap everything up that we have talked about in this lesson, always remember that juncture is a pause or slight delay in the continuous flow of speech, while rate of speech means how fast or how slow a person speaks. Now that we are done with the lesson, read and answer the following questions per your post-test. Choose the correct letter of your answer. Number 1. It is the slight delay or pause in speech. Is it A, juncture, B, rate of speech, C, close juncture, or D, open juncture? Number 2. It means how slow or fast a person speaks. Is it A, juncture, B, rate of speech, C, close juncture, or D, open juncture? Number 3. How many seconds do we need to pause for a single bar juncture? Is it A fraction of a second, B, 2 seconds, C, 3 seconds, or D, 4 seconds? How many seconds do we need to pause for a double bar juncture? Is it A fraction of a second, B, 2 seconds, C, 3 seconds, or D, 4 seconds? Number 5. There are some places in the sentence that we need to pause. Which of this is not true? Is it A, after a comma, B, after an article, C, between thought groups, or D, changing from one key idea to the next? After listening and viewing to this video lesson, do not forget to do these exercises as your homeschool work for today. Worksheet number 11, English Grade 7, Second Quarter. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.